Yo, welcome back. So we're at the same property again, wiring up the sheds. So we've got shed 1, shed 2. Here's some of the stuff we're going to be using. So this is what I said in the previous video. We've got some Verso modular range, which I didn't even realise they did, but they do. So there's a bit in the middle there, and then you get these double gang 2-pole isolators. So live and neutral can be isolated. So we've got 2 of them. So we're going to wire it up and label it all up. So 1 is shed 1, 1 is shed 2. But yeah, upon the first fix of this job, we ran in the armoured cable through the loft in the extension, garage conversion. So that's that. Going to cut this down here, and we've got loads to play to run out along, all the way along to the next shed, and then we can do some more electrics in there. But as a generic basis, what we've got going on is 2 double sockets in each shed, a fuse spur in each shed to downrate it or fuse it down for the lighting, a light switch, a BT14 LED light going here in the middle, nice and central in both, and then we also have got 1 10-watt flood with PIR going on the end of the other one, and that's just going to be switched at the front door with the other one as a 2-gang, but it's always going to be left on because obviously it's got a sensor, so it's permanent majority of the time. So what we've got here is a bit of floorboard which was outside, and there's loads of other bits of wood, some more wood here, and we're going to make a little board here and fit that modular system to isolate shed 1 and shed 2. So I'll gland my armoured cable into the bottom of a malleable box, and that will be the feed in into some Wagos in the back, or piggybacked, just piggybacked into the back of the grid switches, and then we'll have an armoured going out, which will go to shed 2, and obviously that will correspond into the modular system for shed 2. And then we've got twin and earth coming out of the one into a socket down there, and then we've got a socket going down there as well, but I'll put the fuse spur on this board in this one. Right, it's gone dark because the door's closed, but what cable we're using, so this is armoured, just 2.5mm, nice and bog standard, nothing too big for these sheds because it's literally just used as storage really, just a couple of bikes and nothing major. You can see there the old cable, how it was ran through. There's an old twin and earth there, which was literally just ran through, exposed, UV, not rated, so big no-no. Same with the outdoor lights at this property, but I've already upgraded those. So jobs are good, and let's stop waffling and let's get some gear out. Get some of the gear out. Oh, Milwaukee. I had loads of people comment on my video a few videos ago. What is it? What do I say? What do I keep saying? Milwaukee. And it's Milwaukee. Everyone keeps saying. Anyway, let's get some of this out and let's mount that board. Currently just measured up the board, 17 inches I need it. I forgot to get the height. I'll measure the height and I'll just whip this off with the jigsaw, and then we'll get this mounted and stop playing with the armoured. That's that mounted, loads of screws in it, that timber behind. I've bought that through there, so obviously I can seal that up. I just don't have any silicone on me at this minute. So look, that ain't coming off. The whole shed is going to break before I think that comes off. If anything, I've just made this shed a bit stronger by adding a support across. Good use of an off-cut floorboard as well. Bit of recycling. So what we're going to do is put a nice bend on this cable now. So I'll bend it like down that way, bend it up, and then bring it into a double pattress, which I've got here. Double malleable, yeah, that's right. So malleables left and right. I know you had 2 circle knockouts, 20mm knockouts. So I can get 2 20Ss, one there and one there, one for shed 1 and one for shed 2, and then I'll see wire up the Verso range. So I'll get this fitted, and then also on that board we're going to have the fuse spur for this shed, and then just take the link cable out, the 1mm, straight up, across, all the way down that beam, all the way down to the switch over there, and then back up to the light fitting. So what I've got here is in the Velocity pouch with all the bits and bats in. Got some Blue Spade bits. I have got some of the Armeg bits, but these work better for this, what I need here. So I think it's about an 18 or 16 for 2.5. Yeah, it's a bit too big. I'll go for one smaller, 16, and I'll go through in that bottom corner, cut this armoured, go and get my old CK croppers, cut through it, run the new armoured across, and then see how much we've got to play with. Well, that was not fun. That's all mounted, like you saw, and I was throwing that cable through the wall, and obviously I can't get to any of this bit. So, yes, it's not clipped from there to there, but I physically, what do you do? Do you try and move all the shed, which you physically can't do? Or do you physically try and get down a hole, which you physically can't fit down? That's not a pun, that's literally one of those. So, yeah, one of them. I'm going to try and throw it over as close to the fence as I can. And then here, what do you do here? Obviously, it's a bit of a thing. Do you clip it to the gravel board or not? Because I'm not digging up, well, concrete, because that's what the posts are sitting in. So I think I'm going to cleat it along the gravel boards, but as you can see, and here, this lovely British weather. And then it's coming over here, and there's loads of cable here, so I'll just tape the end of that for now, and I'll cleat this another day, because I'm not getting wet. That's the joys of self-employed. If I don't want to get wet, then I'll just come back another day and do it at the end of the day. So I'm going to do the bit inside, jump in here, do a bit inside, and then come back tomorrow and finish off when it's fingers crossed not raining. The rest of today, what I'm going to do is get these malleable boxes mounted, get the twin and earths ran through, all the links done, get the lights mounted, pretty much get done in here, and then I'll just do the out the side stuff tomorrow, fingers crossed, when I've got I think I've got a couple hours spare tomorrow, so an hour spare, we'll do that a right good treat, fingers crossed. It's not raining, typical, I bet it's going to be raining. But yeah, let's make sure that's enough to pull up with that one. And what I'm going for is, if I bend that like that, then you've got a nice swooping bend into the malleable box, somewhere around there. And then you'll have the isolator for shed 1, shed 2. And then a single next to it, just to fuse down in here, and then straight up, straight along, and all the way to the front. Debating whether to get some more wood and actually space it in between, so get a bit of wood in between, then screw the boxes onto that bit of wood, because the customer is not boarding these walls out. They're not like plyboarding it, they are, oh dear, Lap Accessories. That is not me, that must be the customer. Even though it doesn't look like we're much further, we are. So they're all mounted. What we've got going on, 20, 20, 20, 20 and 20, so we can pass through the link, so we can feed from shed 1 power into the fuse spur, which is just not really going to be used, but it's just a means of isolation and fusing down for the lighting. And then we're going to have a 20mm white stuffer going out, which will come up across all the way up to the switch. I'm going to drill these little beams with something nice and small. I've drilled the back of that one out to take a 2.5 twin and earth through all these beams to the first socket is going over there. I've marked on the wall them 2 X's up there. Customer wants them quite high because they're going to put shelves below them. And then coming on to the armoreds. So for the rest of today, I'm just going to get this mounted, these drilled, and obviously once we're onto the 2.5s, we'll be flying, because it's not so hard, but with this armoured cable, marked where how much I need, obviously both sides I can push a bit of slack here or there, so I ain't got to get it perfect. Got my CK armoured slice, going to use that, do both glands, get them on, 20 S's, make sure you're linking through the earth on the armourings, linking through both of them, so it's got a continuous earthing all the way through it, with a bit of a fly lead, join it into the mains here, because I can. Technically, could do a big Odinio, earth the back box, even though it's plastic, but I'm not going to go too far. So yeah, literally going to get these on and get some more holes drilled, make some more mess, and give it all a hoover up. Armoured's all glanded, all earthed, everything's heat shrinked up. So obviously we like to use grey as neutrals. That's always the way I've been taught, and then black as earths, which is commonly done. To be fair, normally if it's the other way around, there's usually DIYs that do it that way, domestically anyway. And obviously once that's got some cleats in, that'll look nice. Sound like Jack from DLC, nice. So yeah, let's get the faceplate open and let's wire it up. Obviously this, I might have to play with it a bit to get it nice and neat, because that doesn't look the best, but we're all wired up. So we've got live into the top up there, which is supply, and then we've got jumping across to supply that isolator, and then along the bottom we've got the one going out into on the right hand side, so that's going to be shed 1 switch, which is going to feed into here first with a bit of 2.5, which is that, and then the armoured going down, that's the one which feeds into number 2 switch. It's about 5 o'clock, it's dark, it's still raining, I'm going to call it there for tonight. I'm going to screw this stuff back, wire up the fuse spur quickly, and then tomorrow I'm going to be back and finish it off. I will just add as well, I've not been on this all day, don't worry. Literally, I come here, first thing, the customer had a fault, I found the fault, sorted that out. It was actually the plasterers, just a bit of damp gone in the back box, and the customer previously had changed the socket front, so there was no earth sleeving on any of the earths and stuff, which was causing it to trip the RCD between neutral and earth with a bit of water and condensation in the back box from yesterday's plastering, but it's all dried out, so fix that, job's a good one. And then I've been in the garage finishing off the fuse board and conduit work in there, and then I've hopped across over here this afternoon. Yo, we're back, it's day 2. Like I said, yesterday we was only here for a couple hours, and I started it late afternoon, and it got dark, and it was raining, so not fun. Got some more armoured cleats, so I can cleat, I've already said, so I can cleat all this, get that done. Brought all the tools back up, and yeah, so in here, this is where we got to. Still need to tidy this up, but I'm going to drill some more wood, so I didn't tidy up because I'm going to make more mess. So I've got to seal this hole, seal up the old hole, and get wiring this up really, but so far that's going to look good, especially once it's all labelled and everything, and this is all cleated nicely. Now I've got the cleats, so that'll be nice. So what I'm going to do today is get this wired up as such, get the braces in, then screw the screw the back boxes straight to them bits of wood. So that'll be jobs are good one. We are a lot further on now. I've not really filmed myself just putting the rest of these bits of wood and screwing and drilling all the beams, because you know what's happening. So what we've got is some nice neat clipping all the way along, all the way up here. I have found out a few things. So this shed, customer said cost them £1,000 for this one and then that one, so £2,000 total. I think that's including fitting. And yeah, whilst I was clipping this beam, hence here, obviously this is nice neat clipping, then it swooped down to come down lower, because when I was hitting it, well, yeah, it was already like that. And then if you look at this wall here, what's the best angle? You can see how it's all twisted, and then if you go like this, the whole thing shed moves. So whoever built this shed is not a very good carpenter, and everyone's going to roast me for putting these bits of wood in. I did screw it on the edges as well, and then pinching them into the sides. Look, ultimately, I could have just screwed these straight onto like the corners or something like that, but I thought it's a little bit better like this. I spoke to the customer, they had loads of wood left from the garage conversion, so I've just done it, which I think it's a lot better. Don't get me wrong, it's just a shed for storing bikes and stuff like that, so ultimately it's overkill, same as the modular isolation switches for shed 1 and shed 2, but it's a lot better job. It's like this. How do you go about this? Obviously, technically you could do conduit work or surface, but then ultimately, same again, you're only going to get a saddle there, and a saddle, well, potentially a saddle there. Whereas here, once this is terminated and pulled nice and tight, because it's drilled through, it's the same as any old normal house, just drilled through the joist, which I think is more than sufficient, because I can't put anything into this, because these are literally like that thin. So, well, you can see how thin they are there where I've come through. Obviously, I've still got to seal all these holes, but it's even like this, just taking your time, drilling through in the corners, making it a better job. And then nice, neat clipping skills. I won't really class it as a skill, but you know what I mean. Just taking your time a bit, and then measuring the centre, so that's there, and then getting onto the 2D fittings, which I'm going to show you now. So these are the 2D fittings we are fitting. They are Diamond Lighting ones, not sponsored, nothing like that. These are the go-to ones in the local wholesaler, Power, next to me. These are the ones we fit. I think the manager who used to work in Power, he's actually now a rep for these, or something to do with them. So, nice one, Darren. If you're watching this, don't know if you watch my videos still. So this fitting is actually changeable wattage, so 10, 14 and 18. I don't really understand why, because you're always going to want it on 18 watt, the brightest, unless you literally want it like a candle. And then the colour changing, obviously that's quite nice. So where can we see that? It's on the box somewhere, I've seen it there. So they're different colours. You got the bluey white on the far right, which is like the dentist. You got daylight, just normal white in the middle, and then you got warm white on the left. So obviously, like your older traditional customers, more used to the warm white. I normally say it for the normal white, because the bluey one just reminds you of the dentist. But yeah, overall, nice fitting. It's got this little quick release twisty thing to lock the LED in place. Get rid of that. Comes with the rubber bungs, screws and everything like that, but normal situation, just throw the screws in the bin. Just use your normal ones, and then just get it screwed up, drill some nice central holes, and push connectors, which is a nice thing as well. So nice, quick and easy. I will just add as well, it's 2 degrees, so it's freezing, and got dragged to Primark, typical, over the weekend. Well, not this weekend, it was the weekend before, because it was busy all weekend. And just, as you do, walking around just bored on your phone and looking at random things in Primark when you get dragged around by the girlfriend. And I spotted these little fleecy jackets. They're only I think it was £6 or something. So I thought this was a little bargain for a work hoodie. Oh, look at them angles. So yeah, let's get back to some work. And that's shed 1 complete, all tidied. So the Milwaukee Hoover, absolute beast, hoovered up all my sawdust that's got everywhere. But overall, really happy with it. I've not wired it into the board yet. Just need to, that's the switch. Nice, neat clipping skills all the way along. I don't know why I keep saying skills. It's not really skills. I mean, if you can't clip cable straight, then you shouldn't really be an electrician. But yeah, lights all done. I fixed that beam a bit in the corners so it's a bit more supported. Double socket, ran all the way across. That's all nicely cleated. Sealed the hole down there, sealed there, sealed there, sealed there. Fuse spur to downrate it for the lighting. Isolation switch, which is going to be labelled up shed 1, shed 2. And then another double socket there. So nice and easy, really. But overall, it's going to really change this customer's life. As sad as that sounds, like just coming in here, charging your electric bikes, put your battery shell on charge. Stuff like this, it's just little jobs, but I love doing these little jobs as such. It's nice little tie-overs as such, like throughout the day, like just here and there, just doing this job, or nip back, do this. So I'm going to finish shed 2, then I'll show you once everything's powered up. It's another day, we're back at the shed, and we have power, finally. So really happy with the overall result. Just ran through with the customer, just come through, well, just came back today, just literally to run through with the customer exactly what's what, do a few more tests, and everything's all happy. So that's really good. And obviously I've run out of light again. So I showed you briefly shed 1 complete, but now shed 2 is complete. So the customer wanted this USB socket wiring back up. Obviously everything's clipped nice and neat. I know loads of people are going to say, well, why have you not used conduit? Why have you not done it this way? Ultimately, the customer wanted it done this way, and this is the cheapest way of doing it, in my eyes. You can't do it a cheaper way than this, realistically. Yes, conduit isn't loads more, but it's all the time and the hassle and the faffing with it that comes with that. Some of you looking at that now thinking, oh my God, he's pinched to the cable with a screw. No, the outside light was screwed first, then the cable's pinched over the top of it and clipped and all sealed, whisker boxed, all clipped nice and neatly down to a 2-gang switch. So obviously got one for an ear, and then the other one I'll leave on because it's for the outside light. Same again, armoured, cleated up nice, sealed, fuse spur to downrate it for the lighting circuit. We've already spoke about this, how you can't really do a great deal with this, but it's all nice and neat. So that's that shed 1 done. Let's move on to shed 2. So, well, shed 1 actually, back in here again. So light switch, nice and bright, 2D fitting. Same situation, I've showed you all this. And obviously we've got the isolations. So this one's shed 1. So if I flick this off, this kills all the power to shed 1. I'm yet to label these up because my brother label printer has not turned up yet. But you get the gist. If I flick it, then it isolates it. So overall, really happy with this job. Nice little neat job. Everything's nice and neat. Yeah, just really happy. The customer's really happy. On to the next one. So thanks for watching. Catch you next one. Bye.